people are owed reparations. Reparations now. All my Johnsons. Wolfpack. Big K.
Ayo, wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be late on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck up, round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Pause like 10 Black, overwhelmed, but I gotta get my wits jacked. We be preaching to the choir like a hymn track, but we gotta make a dent, get the rich back. Laying in the street, we got brothers that overdosing, trying to help the poor with their handicap and emotion. Both parties suck, take a minute and let it soak in. They don't give a fuck, they be locking you up and smoking. Both parties suck. Johnson, what they're serving up is a lace concoction. Spit it in a face. Johnson, what the fuck you do with a snake when you boxing? Wanna fall in line with the base is an option. I'ma stand for mine, I'ma ride with my conscience. If you want the right, I'd advise you with caution. When they get the chance, sell you out like an auction. Fucked ins like controlled opposition. Cunts down the boat and they roll their position. Top down, yeah, I'm sold on the mission. I ain't bring a coast, I'm a search of friction. Apologists faking these raps give me conniptions. They be out here serving their donuts like a religion. Calling out these blasphemous promises my addiction. They ain't got no soul, yeah, they sold it out for a patient. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be late on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck up, round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Ayo, time. Fuck conservative, run on McDonald. Clean, but you look and you sound like you out for the bottle. White boy dress for the follow. You can see through the grip, so you need to let off for the throttle. Try the right, we beside, let us have us a top. Be a man, we can walk through the basics. You ain't getting shot, just talking about race. Motherfucker, you get shot for being racist. Yo, say you spitting facts, you clearly be in your feelings. Quoting Ben Shapiro, what else the fuck you conceal? See, we didn't free the slaves, and you acting like we the same. Like we're signing effects, same thing, you fucking idiot. Right-wing frauds really made me belligerent. Educate America, overcoming the ignorance. Big homie black, show you bitches the difference. They also jobs and blaming it on the immigrants. Bro for initiative, hold the line with the wolf pack. Giving me a shot, I blew through him like I'm a fullback. Riding from inside the center, where your soul at. Can't distract blast, cause homie be full of bullcrap. ACAB, yeah, I'm bending the law. Yeah, the system is broke. If you need this and ours, need divine intervention. Need a fix by the gods, hold up, I'ma need to catch my breath. Pause. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be late on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck up, round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause.
Man, I wish they would, Johnson. I wish they would. I wish they would. What is up now? What is up now? We are good. What's up, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to another edition of Pause with Tim Black. I'm glad you're here. We okay with the brightness? We okay? We don't want it too bright. What y'all doing? What's up? Let me make sure we're live on all platforms, y'all. This thing been acting a little crazy. We good? YouTube, Facebook, we in the house. There it is, there it is. I got my people. I got my diehards. That's all that matters. What up, Johnsons? How y'all doing? We in the house. What's up, Shell? A man called David. David Melford. Anthony. What's up, Craig R? All right, Larry. Jason J. What's up? What's up? It's good to see people. Look, my members of the Tim Black Wolfpack, y'all know what to do. You know what it is. All right? So, pause with Tim Black, man. All right. All right. Yo, what's up, B? What's up? What's up? What's going on? You hear me, Kay? All right. What's up, Ty? Okay. Wow. Let's start it like this. Before I get going, because I want to get going already. Twitch, is Twitch in the house? I don't even know. It's too late. It's time to go. Twitter, what up, Twitter? Twitter hate me now, but it's okay. Check this out, guys. It's the top of the show, so at the top of the show, we do one thing only. Cut the check. Cut the check. Stop playing with me. Look. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with with us. Could you show me what some toothpaste at? Could you show us what a toothpaste is? So what's going on, people? Now, check this out. I got a lot of people that watch the show. And some of the people that watch the show don't know how, they may not fully understand what black culture and the thoughts in most American descendants of slaves, and black people born in this country from a certain class of people. Because you could be black and born in this country, but from another class where you don't have the same problems that the majority of black people deal with as they come up in this country. We got 40 million white Americans who are struggling, and we got 40 million black Americans. And of that 40 million black Americans, I'd say about 25, I don't even want to guess, more than half of those black Americans, African Americans, American descendants of slave or chattel slavery, are struggling. When I say struggling, I mean a paycheck away. So then people wonder why we can't get certain things done in our political system. Now, I said we have 40 million white Americans who are struggling, but there's another 100 million that aren't. See? And what's crazy is those 40 million that are struggling, the majority of them don't even vote Democrat. They vote Republican, which at this point in stage in time, guys, is basically a corporate, a corporation. Similar to the Democratic Party, but the Republicans don't even pretend that they give a damn about poor white people. Only time you catch Republican Party courting the poor white vote is when they kind of threw Trump out there, or when they used anecdotal shit that made like George Bush seem like he would have a beer with you. But by and large, it's all a smokescreen. The Democrats do the same type of smokescreen with black folks. They claim that they understand black communities, they understand what black people are going through, and that they really care. But as far as legislation actually impacting black Americans, you're more likely to see Bigfoot before you see that shit. I mean, until we put the foot all the way up on them. Until we lay into them hard with our ultimatums. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take ultimatums. So, if you're not immersed in this type of culture, you don't understand how some black people think. I want my people who don't know, I want you to realize that you heard the story. You might not have heard of Jelani Day. Jelani Day is a young black man who was found dead. Now, the only reason why some of us even heard of him at all is that black people were complaining about Gabby Petito getting all this publicity, or that her family was getting all this publicity, or the fact that she is someone of note to her family, comes from a family. I think someone says her dad or somebody's an ambassador or some chief, something of state, something significant in a governmental capacity. I don't remember, I don't give a damn. I kind of stopped following frivolous white people type shit like that. Sorry, I just don't give a damn. It is what it is. But during the midst of all this publicity that was given to Gabby Petito, and look, I'm not saying this wrongly given. I'm glad that America looks for white folks. I just wish they looked for us too. So that phrase Black Lives Matter comes to root. So this is running thing in the black community where we say, they look for white people, they won't look for black people. They look for white women, they won't look for black women. And we're talking about a black man missing, so you know it was like, I mean, we're lucky if they send out a text message for this brother. Jelani Day's mother was looking for him for a month before they even started really looking for him. And unfortunately, they recently found him. And the bad thing about it is they found him like a block or two or a mile away from his car. So they found the car 3 days after he was missing. And it took them a month to find the body. So when we talk about Black Lives Matter, there goes your prime example of Black Lives Matter. I know we've applied it to just police brutality, but it's our whole criminal justice system. It's everything. It's everything in our society that tells us repeatedly that Black lives don't matter, because they don't. But I love the fact that we got ourselves a population of people that just don't understand this stuff. And when I say love it, I don't love it. I hate it. I say love because it's like sadistic. It's like something for me to point to that makes it so clear and evident, man. Let me put it this way. We only have a white middle class because America wanted to have a white middle class. It's just weird motherfuckers out here that think that there are individuals conquering the system. They watch too much Walking Dead. They watch too many Hulu, Netflix specials. They're binge watching too many fake believe fantasy shows. We got weird motherfuckers out here. Look, we have weird people out here on some other shit who think that they themselves individually can conquer the system when it takes so much to conquer the system. I mean, there is only a white middle class because America wanted to create a white middle class. We got delusional people running around thinking that was because of gumption and pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. No, you could have pulled yourself up by your bootstraps forever if it wasn't for policies put in place. I mean, guys, white kids were losing their arms in factories, and America did not give a shit. White people were eating out the garbage. They were dying in the depression. There was no safety net. They did not give a shit. America intentionally said, we need to do something or America's not going to make it. We need to do something or all these pissed off broke people are going to come after and start eating the rich. But America was very careful. America was very careful on how they did this. Yes, they needed to create a middle class, a consumer base, to consume the products that they were creating. This was at the height of the Industrial Revolution. And they say, well, in order to do that, we got to have people with disposable income. And right now, we don't have that. And right now, if we don't do something, we got to move fast, and we got to create this, but not everybody can have it. So they created this middle class. Well, home loans. FHA was created. We had FDR creating it with the New Deal, the GI Bill, followed up by Truman. Come on now. This was all intentional, and it was intentional to exclude some people from this. I say all the time, the fact that we have black people at all in America is a miracle. That is a miracle. That is your survival against all odds. And that's why I say it's funny, but it's not funny when I hear people say, all you got to do is work really hard. All you got to do is put yourself up by your bootstraps. All my conservatives, when you talk about what we need to do and how we need to be resilient, we need to work really hard, conservatives on Facebook, if you're seeing this, the only people that took your message to heart, the only people that used your message were black people. Because white people are the ones that got the help. You don't believe that, do you? You don't believe what I'm saying. You think I'm saying this to say it. You think this is propaganda. You think I'm like one of your Sean Hannity, Charlie Kirk motherfuckers. You think I'm a Candace Owens character. No. This is our historical record. They created a GI Bill that 95% of it went to white folks. FHA loans, excluding black folks. Realigning the fuck out of black folks were not given these loans. The wealth of the average American is contained in what? Where does it reside? It resides in homes. If you don't allow people the ability to purchase homes, to get home mortgages, how do they create wealth? How does it happen? America wanted to create a white middle class, not a black middle class. Not a middle class for everyone, just for you guys. And then, for some reason, you live under this falsity that all you got to do is work hard. I'm not saying it's easy once these things were created. That's not what I'm saying. But at least you got a fighting chance. At least you got a fighting chance when you have a start. When you have things, when you have obstacles not intentionally, barriers put in your way. Let's see if they can climb over this shit. Let's put this barrier in the way. Let's see how good they do. That's what America did. Now, I was on a very important call last night celebrating the birthday of a friend of mine, John C. from the Reset Race podcast. I didn't realize that the next day was my other friend's birthday, Marvin C. So shout out to both of those brothers. There was a sister on that phone on this Zoom call that I was on, this private celebration with my friends from the Reset Podcast, and K Love Joy was there, I was there, a couple other folks were there. I don't want to give names because I don't know if that's private. But one of the sisters on this call kept saying something, Tim, saying something that I want to repeat to you. She said it's very important that when we frame these conversations are framed not to go after the individual. That we need to focus our ire and our frustration and our anger at the true culprits. And those true culprits are the U.S. government. I wholeheartedly agree. And I've tried to do that throughout my career. She watches the show, she knows. But if anybody watches the Tim Black Show, I think you know that I don't spend the whole time blaming individual white people for a systemic problem. But see, it's the coons and the sellouts who tell us ain't no such thing as systemic racism. So if you deny the systemic racism, only thing left are bad individuals. And that's a cop-out because it's not the only problem we have. Of course we got bad individuals, but we have systemic racism. Those bad individuals participate in a system, in an institution, in several institutions. So my point is this. If we have an institution, a U.S. government, that creates policies in the pathway for white folks, not black folks, which is racism, that's the clearest example of a systemic racism. They create a pathway for just white folks to reach the middle class, to create a middle class, because before then it really didn't exist. I mean, I know we're talking a lot about R. Kelly right now. We talk about Harvey Weinstein, and we talk about people that use their power and their position in order to take advantage of the ladies. I don't know what you think they've been doing since day one. I mean, this country's like the haves and the have-nots. What do you think they've been doing all this time? That's all that's been happening. It's people with power, particularly white men in power, taking advantage of everyone else who doesn't have power. And white women, by transferability from white men, also have power in society. That's what's been going on the whole time. But anyway, back to my point. The point is that if you have institutional racism that clears a pathway for one group of people to have a leg up, to have an opportunity. An opportunity. It's not a given. It's not like they said, here goes money, white people. But it was a pathway to a middle class, to a life. What? 2.2 kids, a dog, a white picket fence? That was white shit. That was the white American dream. Some black folks dared to dream it. Went to striving to get it. Right? Strive to obtain what they see, because we got this thing called TV sets. We got this thing called the radio, maybe the radio more likely back then when it first began, but then TV came in, and then we have movies, and we saw what life was like, and we want the same things. The commercials air for everyone, not just for one group. We all see what those fake lives look like and how comfortable they look. So we all want the same things. But were they really obtainable for the masses of us? No. And once again, obtainable, not given, not immediately, no. But what I've noticed, guys, and I'm going somewhere with this. What I notice is a lot of people, let me put it this way. I know you heard me say that when white people got a cold, black people got pneumonia, right? People hear me say that, or people have heard that statement before. They don't let it sink in what it really means. What I'm really trying to tell you is that white people think having no barriers but being able to see the rainbow over the mountains. White people think having it tough or having a dad that drinks, but being able to see, being able to go in for a job interview and not be judged because you are white and automatically put into file 13, which is a garbage can, or to apply for an internship and not be turned away because you have braids in your hair. They think just because they have to work at that shit, but still they can see it, and that arbitrarily be dismissed for reasons they cannot control. They think that that means that they struggle just as bad as black people. And that is a product of our system operating as it chooses to operate, and a product of them doing their best to keep white people ignorant. They want white people to be ignorant because not every white person in America is a horrible racist. Not every white person in America at least is not a willing participant in the system of suppression and oppression of black people. They're just living their lives, grilling on a grill, or taking their kids to soccer practice, or binge watching the latest shit on Netflix. I mean, they're not knowingly willing participants in grievous acts against black people, but unfortunately, they are. Just not intentional. Not even thinking about it. So when we talk about the pneumonia, we talk about the cold, right? Black people got pneumonia, white people got the cold. A cold can be fucked up. And I get it. Dad used his hand. Mom talked with her fist. I get it. Horrible. Work 2 jobs, pull yourself through school. I get it, white person. But those problems that you had were not created. Those problems that you went through, those struggles, those obstructions, those unfortunate circumstances, were not the product of you being white. They were the product of a shitty parent, born on the wrong side of the tracks, an opiate addiction, bad luck, a dad with a gambling problem, a great-granddad with a gambling problem, an uncle with a fetish for the horses. You know, like it's something else attached to it. But to be black and be held back, to be black and be disenfranchised, to be black and not see a pathway, you didn't have to do any of that shit. You could just be black. That's the difference. We could do something about that if we really wanted to do something about that. I mean, America could fix that. What I'm saying is not foreign, it's not radical, it's not crazy. We could cut the check. We could cut the check. You can stop trying to pacify me with ideas that I'll get health coverage or student loan debt relief or you'll save the whales or some other thing that is good. But at the end of the day, even if I don't have health care, which is a travesty. Don't get me wrong, it's a travesty not to have those things in the westernized world, in the developed country. In the first world country, it's pretty fucked up not to have what other first world countries have. To have to pay for things other countries with less GDP don't have to pay for. That's crazy talk, so don't get it twisted. But my thing is, as fucked up as it is, if I had money, I could pay for it. I mean, if we had money, we'd be able to pay for it. So if you hold people systemically back by policies in your government, then it's going to take policies by your government to level that playing field to provide some type of equity in the system which you created where you deliberately held those people back. I mean, there you go. But instead of that being the argument and the thing that politicians are trying to sell to their constituents, because I know it's going to be a sale. Because we still got those 40 million white people that are not doing so well, who are struggling day to day, who are one paycheck away or maybe 2 paychecks away from being on the street, if not on the street already. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not going to be an easy sale because they haven't been told this story. And no one's told them this story. No one shared the truth with them. And sometimes when I hear them talk, as my friend stated in that podcast or that Zoom meeting I was just in, The time is spent villainizing those conservative, ignorant folks who don't know any better, haven't been educated, that don't have a constituency, or they don't have a media that educates them. They have not attended any lectures. They haven't read any books. Instead, they've been told the opposite. That the reason why black people don't have this or don't have that is because black people don't want this or want that. They'd rather smoke crack. And sometimes sold by black people like Jesse Lee Peterson, Candace Owens, Larry Elder, Thomas Sowell. Why would they lie? They're black too, Tim. Why would they lie? So at the end of the day, the motive, or the moral of this story of tonight, or the theme, I should say, the theme of tonight's show is tell the truth. Look, man, I don't expect, see, I've been getting these notes from people every time a lefty commentator interviews a black person. I'm getting these notes every time a lefty or a progressive commentator says they support reparations. A white one. Because I created this ripple effect where I've been calling out these white commentators who say that they're on the left or progressive or whatever for not supporting reparations or a black agenda. So now I'm getting these notes. Look, man, I don't want anything from you special. I appreciate you telling the truth. But that's all the fuck you doing is telling the truth. You're not doing nothing special to tell white people what's going on with black people and to tell white people what's been happening in the country that they pledged allegiance to, that they died for in war, they just sent their kids to war to fight for. You're not doing me favors. You're doing them a favor. You're doing your country a favor. Telling the truth is not a badge of honor. It's what it should always be. And you shouldn't need Tim Black to yell, to watch 5,000 of his subscribers say fuck him. To have people smear me across the internet as a woman hater, as a black woman hater, though I'm married to a black woman and raised a black woman. Just because you don't like the fact I'm calling out a black woman who'd rather coddle Nazis than go down to the local barbershop and talk to some brothers with twists or locks in their head who smell like weed, which is legal by the fucking way. Because you got no call of reference to talk to those people. Anyway, the point is this. Don't send me no more motherfucking messages about white people telling the truth as if they're doing God's work. They ain't doing God's work. They're doing the work that they're supposed to do. All I'm saying, and look, they ain't got to do it. Nobody has to support black people. But if you don't support black people, at least you can do is shut the fuck up and stop acting like you do. You could also give me your audience because I'm going to educate them. So we can have a fighting chance in righting the ship and getting some type of fairness out of our government. And to do that, I believe it's going to take more numbers. I can't just talk to all black people and get that done. I know, look, and even if we can do that, we got a lot of other people in my land that are already doing that. They're already talking to black people. I mean, does anybody think that the Black Authority has any white people in its audience at all? So what about all the black kids that go to schools that got white teachers and white principals who has some racial bias? Who's dispelling their myths for them? I'm doing my part. I'm not saying it's not good to talk to all black audience. I'm just saying, if you never talk to any white people at all, and that ain't your modus operandi, then who is talking to? Like, what about all the white people that are nurses? They have racial bias. I mean, it's obvious our government ain't gonna step in and save us. They're gonna do shit. You don't want anybody informing them about how fucked up shit is and where they may have some implicit bias going on. Everybody ain't gonna go buy Sandy Darity's book. I wish they would, but they're not gonna all go buy it, but they may stop by a Tim Black video. Pick up a thing or two. They might. It can't hurt. It can't fucking hurt. So all I'm saying is we all try to tell the truth in our way. We gotta tell the truth because these lies, they get to exist because no one's telling them the truth. No one's saying, hey, the middle class created. That didn't happen on its own. America created, didn't happen on its own. People died for that. People were slaughtered for that to happen. Its existence today, people are dying for it right now. People are being slaved right now in incarceration. The system is designed to have black people in jail working for free. or 10 cents an hour. That's the system that keeps this shit running. All you gotta do is travel around the country a little bit, man. You'll see small-ass towns where everything in that town runs off the jail and the prison. They have no industry. There's nothing there except jails full of black people that they bust in or flew in because they had nothing else. That's the industry. The industry is the jail. The jail, a couple of retail establishments, and a few hotels, and that is it. Think of what Chris Rock said, black people are only like 20 places. Everywhere else you go is full of poor-ass white people, and they need your help. But people get to live this existence not knowing shit because people won't tell them the truth. See, I believe that white people are willing to help us do some shit, but they got to know what's going on first. And I know it's heavy lifting, trying to talk to them. You feel like you got to tell the same stories 100 times, but that's exactly what I got to do. It's either that or be ineffective. It's either that or just say, hey, I just want to pick up some money or sell some merch. I mean, if I'm not trying to convert motherfuckers, who am I really talking to? What am I really doing? If I'm not trying to get some conversions, what are we doing it for? To build up organizations and develop chapters that would do what? So you can file tax returns and you get deductions on your tax return, or so you can have a salary that you create by yourself. I mean, that's gumption. That's pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, but that ain't going to change America. And I don't know if anything we do is going to change America, to be honest. But I know it's our job to fight and to try, and I know all of us need to use the tools that we have at our disposal and try that shit. So there's other things that I support besides reparations and the black agenda, but all of them are strongly in the column of what needs to be done for black people, such as ending qualified immunity. Yeah, I believe we gotta make cops, police officers, be responsible for their actions, and they should not be immune from punishment, whether it be civil or legal, or criminal, I should say. So that's why I joined up with the organization, the campaign to end qualifiedimmunity.org. I'm on the wall. I've had the founders of the organization on the show because I believed in it. And God damn it, didn't it die in the Senate? It died in the Senate because we couldn't get Republicans to come along on the bill. Karen Bass came out and said, the bill is dead, it's done. Because all the concessions that the Republicans want to happen to this bill, if we allow any more concessions, it'll be a mockery to even put it past. We'll get. Now, these are not her words, but based on her comments, it made me feel that if Karen Bass came back to the black community to the black community with that bill in the condition that the Republicans would demand it be in for it to pass, she may lose her job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how bad that bill is. So the only thing, I'm in it for many other reasons. I'm doing this show. I do this show. We had these conversations. We do pause because we want to stop for a moment and be really black and be only concerned with that because too many times people in this country, man, we get caught up. We get caught up in the propaganda. We forget what's real. It's a nice place to visit, the fictionalized world that we live in here, but we don't want to stay there because it's not reality. We got to come back home to Jamaica, baby. So underqualified immunity is a thing. It's a necessary thing that must be done. And Joe Biden should be working towards that. So anybody who says, Tim, you support Joe Biden, why the fuck would you even ask that question? How can I support a president that don't support us? I didn't vote for that motherfucker. Now, maybe I vote for him twice if he passed the Reparations Act. I vote for him twice. He passed a meaningful reform bill. I wouldn't care what nobody said. Be mad. I buy some ice cream. So anyway, it's kind of heartbreaking, guys, because I've been thinking about this, man. I know the energy's off a little bit today, but I've been thinking about things. And some of us live in the wrong world, man. Some of us live in the wrong way. We're not living in reality, man. We acting like we got white people problems and we got black people problems. We want to have white people problems because we watch white people TV. Even when it's black characters, it's still white people TV. You know what I'm saying? Black people TV would be so full of so much struggle, you wouldn't want to watch it. Wasn't it like Rock? Wasn't Rock a lot of black people TV? Didn't last long. There was a couple of shows that had actual black people problems on them. They got rid of them joints. Good Times had real problems. Penny got abused. Somebody touched Valona. The gang tried to recruit JJ. James died. These are real problems. This is real shit. They lived in that ghetto. They didn't have money. Bookman was always threatening to put them out. White people were racist. We don't like the B's. The what? The blacks. You remember that? Real problems. Yeah, they canceled that shit. They had to get rid of that. Oh, God, we can't have these problems. We got to go back to, we got to go pretend that black people got it good. You know, or almost as good. Almost as good. So we're all caught up in this. And so how can we blame white people for not understanding where we are in this society? How can we blame them? We know what Hollywood lies about. Think everybody's like Will Smith. Then if you don't act like Will Smith, they think you're a thug and think you're dangerous. That's all by design. It's all on purpose. So we're trying to make them tell the truth, man. We ain't gonna get Hollywood to tell them the truth. Instead, we're gonna argue that we don't have enough representation in Hollywood. We're not getting any awards. Well, based on half the shit they putting out, I wouldn't want us to get awards for this shit. It's all fantastical stories that have no bearing on our real lives. Black people are dying giving birth. In some states, 40% of black children live in poverty. The only numbers we're knocking out are the homelessness numbers. I mean, it's fucking depressing. Who wants to talk about that? So when we say cut the check, it's because that's what has to happen. I mean, none of this was created on our own. We didn't do this on our own. None of it. You put in a no-win situation and told to go do your best to win, and then when you win or you get close to winning, they clip you up. You listen to some white folks, they'll tell you the same thing. But they're talking about the tax code, Johnson. They're talking about taxes. They're not talking about the system. They're talking about an individual boss that has it in for them. They're not talking about not getting called back from jobs because they are white. So we go on and on. I could go on and on about it. But at the end of the day, all I want us to do is tell the truth. I want us to tell the truth to everyone we see. Make them say stop. Make them cry uncle. Because if people don't know the truth, this shit continues. And we talked about it. I don't know if you saw it. I talked about the numbers of black women that go missing. They didn't just start going missing because we're showing attention to the Gabby Petito story and we're going, what about black women? They've been going missing before that. Just like the Haitians. 10,000 Haitians didn't show up at the border overnight. They've been coming. They've been sending them back. They've been coming. And if you were dumb enough to think that Joe Biden had a kinder, gentler immigration policy, you ain't been paying attention. Joe Biden don't like immigrants. At least not brown ones. Let's just face it, white people are not considered immigrants. You got to be brown to be considered an immigrant in America. Because the whites who come across the Canadian border are considered Canadians. They're just Canadians, Tim. Joe Biden hates brown immigrants almost as much as he hates black people. Same thing. So when we talk about cutting the check, it's a dire need. It needs to be done because that's the only way out of the mess. I mean, then you start factoring in the fact that you worked people for, I don't know, 5 generations until they died and gave out, their bodies gave out. I don't think people really wrap their heads around the amount of time we're talking about. Hundreds of years. I don't think people have really respected the fact, the amount of time, and this short amount of time that there's actually been any type of supposed or fake type of equality in this country. Like 60 years. That's like, what's that? That's one lifetime. We're talking about essentially one lifetime. One lifetime for one person living, eating right, like eating a banana and an orange occasionally. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is for going any type of, accidents or homicides. That's all we're talking about. One lifetime. And we got dumb motherfuckers who have no concept of time, who don't realize that there have been people here before us. So anyway, no one's telling the truth. And if no one tells the truth, how can we expect anything different except for them to regurgitate lies and use their own logic? They start using their own logic based on their own experiences, based on what Hollywood's been feeding them, and based on the lies that have been told to them. And lies by omission are still lies. So that's where we are. So when I'm talking about cutting the check, as loud as it may seem, as over the top as it may seem, yeah, it's going to require people to have a conversation. People are going to want to know, cut the check for what? Then you start telling them. You tell them about Tulsa. Tell them about Rosewood. Tell them about redlining. Tell them about the New Deal. Tell them about the Fair Deal. Tell them about the GI Bill. Tell them about the Homestead Act. Tell them about prisoners in jail still being slaves, and slavery never ended. Tell them that shit. And then tell them about slavery. Because you kind of started it with the whole incarceration thing. Yeah, then you tell them that part. Make slavery be the last thing you tell them. Because that's all they think it is. Because that's all they've ever been told it is. Because all that other shit are things you have to look up. You have to seek out. It ain't gonna just fall out of a Hollywood movie. I mean, it might. Parts of it. But not enough for it to really resonate. They'll watch us. They'll watch The Watchmen. They'll watch Regina King. But they don't really get it. Because the real truth has to be digested. It has to be told slow. With a little less hand movements. A little less yelling from the brother Tim Black. But it's there. It's real. It's a fact. And we have to address it. Right? So yeah, so when I talk about race, when we talk about these things, we're not talking about individuals. I tell you all day, I don't got a problem with a good current video. Show me a good current video. Shit, show me somebody getting slapped upside the head for being a racist asshole or for putting their hands on somebody. I got no problems with that. I'm an iPhone 9 242 type guy. I'm cool with that. I'm also cool with people being ostracized or held accountable publicly, getting their feelings hurt or losing their damn job. I got no problems with that either. Nah, not really. The market dictates if you're a sucky individual. I mean, if you weren't going to show your ass in public and be a bigot and then get caught on film and now apologize, I mean, everybody gets caught on film can just apologize. That's all you had to do. Hey, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm having a bad day. Nobody will call for you to lose your job. But these people are so brazen they don't give a fuck. But see, I don't got a problem with the current videos. I don't. But that can't be where the conversation ends. We got to keep going and talk about real shit. Because if we don't, we're going to continue to have a dumb population who don't get it, who don't know what America's up to, what America's been up to, and why this. And I just believe this, guys. I believe that America will never reach its greatness if that's even obtainable, right? unless they do right by black people. We the heart and soul of this country. We are the heart and soul of this country. And if America doesn't do right by black people, America ain't going nowhere. We're going to always constantly have this inner struggle, this inner turmoil, until we address it. If you don't move, look, you can't move past it without addressing it. So that must be done. So by having these tough conversations, by keeping it 100, and by you, fellow commentators, by you telling the truth, not being worried about people that you lose, you shouldn't have them anyway. Someone said, Tim Black, I see you're losing subscribers. I said, good. I was greedy. I shouldn't have had them anyway. They should have never been with me. I'm a black man born in Washington, D.C., with a dad who worked construction his whole life. Not from that type of, I'm a working class black man my entire life. We don't got nothing in common. They're on some old flowery shit in the clouds shit. They don't know I lived on my own since I was 16 years old. I was in high school, on my own in the streets, surviving in the crack era. They don't even know what the crack era is. Crack era, they think I'm talking about some Stone Age shit that happened. Who broke rocks? What are you talking about? Living on the streets. What are you talking about? 3 out of your 10 best friends were dead by the time you were 18. 2 more locked up for 25 years. What are you talking about? And that's not bragging, dog. That's just what it is. And what I'm saying is, we start looking at people's eyes, and we see people's eyes are drastically different, and they have no cause of understanding to you at all. So what I'm saying is the things that I fight for, the things that are important to me, the stark realities that I'm trying to convey. These people are not interested in those unless I tell them the full story and the full context. They don't get it. And so their whole thing is they know their kid needs college and they can't pay for it. But the kid ain't black and their family hasn't been held back systemically. And their grandmother wasn't run out of the South like mine was on my father's side. My mother's side. So they don't relate to that at all. My great cousin who was, lynched, they don't get that shit. He just never came home that night. And the rumor has it, and nobody talks about it. But they don't understand that shit. No, what they understand is the water should be clean. Very basic shit. Shit they're absolutely right about. You're absolutely right, the water should be clean. There should not be lead in the water. I agree 100,000% if that was even possible. And I agree, you should have Medicare for all. You should have some health care. You should have health care. Who the fuck doesn't think that? But I also think that my parents should have been able to have those homes. And I also think my cousin should have came home that day. And I also think all those resumes I sent out, I was qualified for those damn jobs. That's what I also think. And I also think when people come across the TV show, that I'm just as talented and gifted or funny or whatever as anybody else, and there's a reason why it is what it is. I know what I'm saying. I know why it hits people in the face. So there we go. But if we don't tell the truth, and if everybody wants to be quiet and be polite, then nothing changes. And if nothing changes, we get to die. That's why we say cut the check. So I'm going to keep saying cut the check until they cut the check. Because that's what needs to happen. And if it can be done another way, I'd be down for it. Tell me the other way it can be done. And it better not be, Tim Black, you guys just need to do X, Y, Z better. I don't want to hear that shit. And don't tell me I need to rely on politicians. Fuck that. They're in the same system we are all in. The same system that's corrupt as hell and bigoted as hell, that has systemic racism throughout it. So that ain't the solution to this. Hell, I believe some politicians have tried to do things differently. I don't think the FDR started out with saying, well, hell, let's cut the black people out of the bill. It's probably not how it started out. But as a compromise, niggas had to go. Sort of like that unqualified immunity bill or the police reform, the George Floyd bill that ended up erasing unqualified immunity. And it got so bad that Karen knew she couldn't just take the niggas out because then she'd have to answer to those niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Is that making sense to you? So at least now some of the politicians walk away from a bad deal. So we need to tell the truth, man. That's all I'm saying. Tell the truth, shame the devil. The devil. Tell the truth, upset the apple cart. Be bold enough and be willing to tell the truth. But to tell the truth, first you got to know the truth. And to know the truth, well, I suggest you go consult the Reset Race podcast. I suggest you pick up their reading list. How about that, y'all? That's what I would do. There's a lot of great authors out there. I'm going to bring some of those people on the show. I'm going to bring some great people on the show, some informed individuals to talk about all of this. Because why should I keep all this great information from you? I'm your friend. I want you to be educated. I talk like this, I talk like that, I get loud, I get crazy. But at the end of the day, I want you to be informed too. I think we can do both things at one time. I may get a little spicy, motherfucker, but at the end of the day, I want us to be free. At the end of the day, I love black people and I will advocate for them with my last breath. That's the deal. Everybody gonna come and get you because you're doing skits on TikTok, motherfucker. I mean, it might be good for your bottom line. I appreciate you. I respect that. I respect that. You know, A.J. Johnson, the comedian who died recently, he didn't have an insurance policy, and his wife had to go on, put out a video to get them to send some money. There's a GoFundMe link for A.J. Johnson. And I want to encourage anybody who's ever watched anything he was in, and I know most of you did. Most of you saw Friday. So go find the A.J. Johnson GoFundMe and give a couple dollars just because Ezell was a hell of a character. And he made you smile one time. He made you smile one time. So do that. Now we could give lectures about people should have wills, people should have insurance. I get it. And people should also have empathy. That's all. How about that? How about we have a little empathy? If you can. Can't do it, I understand. I kind of thought it's something, I guess. What else, guys? What else? We need to stop listening to politicians. We should support smaller media. You know what? I'm down. We should support smaller media. But you know what? I made some bad decisions in the past, thinking that people are on the same team and not always on the same team. I think you should vet. You should vet your media. Vet your people. Vet them. I'm not saying they're going to be perfect. Look, who am I to talk about perfection? Dog, I was up here riding with these progressives. They weren't riding with me. Then they rode on me. As soon as I start riding for you hard, extra hard, I've always covered black issues. But not like I'm covering them now. I'm so black. Wesley Snipes called me up and was like, Wesley Snipes and Flavor Flav was like, look, yo. Lupita was like, yo, to black. That's how black we got. And they didn't like that shit. So no, I'm not a person, I have no room to talk about perfection. I'm imperfect, but I'm a work in progress. Okay? And there's some people, you gotta let them be a work in progress a little bit longer to make sure their shit is right. Make sure they're in this for the right reason. That's all. I made a lot of mistakes, but I did believe that those policies would help us. And the only problem is, I was right, they will help us. But reparations will help us more. It's kind of a no-brainer. Reparations and a black agenda, and all that black agenda is reparations. And that will help us more than all those other things I was fighting for. And if people won't fight for that with me, why should I fight with them for what they want? So we're going to have to come this way first. Come home to Jamaica. Come on home to Jamaica, baby. We're going for one time in America. For one time. For the first time in American history. Don't give us Barack Obama and tell me that's my reparations, motherfucker. Give me actual reparations. Actual reparations. And for the one time, let's say black people go first. So they put people hear stuff like Equal Opportunity Act, and they think black. No, it was white women. That's who got that shit most. People think that. Smart white women know it too. That's why some of my biggest supporters are smart white women who actually know shit. You know? They actually know that that's a thing. Like, I'm not making it up. You know, we got some goofy motherfuckers. Oh, come out here. You know, they don't know. But some of my best supporters are smart white women who know how fucked up black people, how fucked over black people have been fucked over. Because they've had white husbands who came home at night and told them shit about the black guy they fucked over at work. Or they themselves know what they've done. So what I'm saying is, or what this done, or they've been behind the curtain and know what's up. So I don't know. Anyway, there's no perfection, yo. There's no perfection, but like I support independent media, I do. But I gotta see some proof first. I gotta see some proof that you riding though. Cause see, it's too easy not to. People riding on gimmicks, riding the wave, trying to do what white people do. And all I'm saying, I'm trying to warn them, it ain't the way to be, Johnson. It's not the way to be. You ain't gonna want to do that forever. I'm just trying to tell you. Don't do what I did. Don't think that they're with you just because they don't say they're not with you. You gotta push the issue. So that's why look, I got nothing but support for brothers and sisters in this fight. For Michi X, I support her struggle. I support her mission. I don't want to hear nothing bad about him. I don't want to hear nothing bad about him. I don't want to hear nothing bad about Tariq. Nope. He raised $1 million. His people support him. And when he said he's gonna put out a project, he puts out the project. I got nothing bad to say about the brother. Had a run-in with him back in 2017. Water under the bridge. I respect what he's doing. I want to have the ability to create some things myself. And I want to deliver on those things I say I'm going to create. I have yet to create things of that magnitude, you know what I'm saying? So he did his thing. But all I'm saying is anybody in the space of helping black people, I want to support that because I know we need it. Because people don't realize it, when you're in the space of creating non-help for black people, you're creating help for who? I already told you, they purposely excluded us. So if you just go status quo, who does that help? You get to an organization and you think it's helping black people, and it's helping the people that run the organization live a nice life as opposed to actually helping black people. Now, I'm not talking about any particular organization. I'm saying generally speaking. Generally speaking. You get what I'm saying? So, I say do media the same way. You got to value test your media, you got to value test causes. And make sure that those causes are good causes. And making sure that there's an end game and a goal out of it. What's the goal? Is the goal going to benefit us or does it benefit somebody else? And being as though we are 13% of the population and 50% of the homeless population. Being as though in some areas we got 20 years less life expectancies. Being as though our women are dying in childbirth. Being as though our kids are living under poverty. Being as though we're being mass incarcerated to historic numbers that are so beyond what would be acceptable in a free society. The targeting, the racial profiling of black people, the level at which the United Nations would call this, what the fuck is this? If we want America, or we were any other country, somebody come get us. That's how bad this is. You don't know it because you're the frog in the boiling pot. They slowly turning it up, but you don't realize that they're cooking you. They're literally cooking us right now. White people sitting right there getting cooked too. But this side of the pot's a little lower. Because if they turn that heat up on them to the same amount they're turning it up on us, they're going to jump out the pot. That's what I know. I got some white friends from West Virginia and the Carolinas who would die for theirs too. Know that. It's some brothers, it's some white dudes out in Ohio that if they were treating black people like they treat white people, there wouldn't be no more Ohio. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all keep, so they know who to treat. They know what they're doing when they pacify us with James Clyburn. They know what they're doing. And as long as they're able to keep us on the bottom, and if those white guys can look over and see somebody worse off than them, they can kind of sell the idea that they're not treating them as bad. They're not. Yet. I believe everyone's replaceable. They're just starting with us. Don't worry, poor conservative white person. They'll get to you. They're getting there to you now. We need to stop opiate addiction. This is sad. Have the numbers gone down? Have the numbers gone down, Johnson? I mean, white men are committing suicide at a rate that's off the charts. And they're not even sick. At least not physically. I'm Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Tim Black and that on Instagram. Tonight, at around 11 o'clock, it's 9:30. Another hour and a half or so, come back to this show. Phone lines will be open. We take phone calls on this show. Tuesdays and Fridays are phone call-in days. I'd love to hear what you guys say. I don't like being the only one talking. We like to have a back and forth conversation, and you can hear the callers really well, too. You can hear all the crazy shit, and I got great callers. I don't really have anything else to say except cut the check. Yeah, cut the check. Save all the drama for your mama. Look, go ahead and talk to someone else about how we need to get more degrees. Black women got more degrees than any other group in this country and more debt. They're not the most millionaires. Huh? Hello? Is that because they're not smart? Is that because they didn't study hard enough? So somebody's going to have to see, more people are going to have to reveal the truth. That's all. You ain't doing a favor for anyone. You're just telling the truth because that's your motherfucking job. Your job is to tell the truth. Truth to people. Stop lying to the people. Tell them the truth. When you're selling them on this shit, when you're telling the young black girls all they could be, you could be tall like this wall and play basketball. And you leave out all the money that they're going to call her to pay back for a job they're going to give Becky. And if they do hire her, they're going to underpay her about 15-20%. At least tell her that shit so she can make her mind up how much debt she wants to go into to end up with a mediocre life in a country that owes her a debt that they refuse to pay and a truth they refuse to tell. Damn, that was good. I need a teleprompter. People are owed reparations. Reparations now. All my Johnsons. Wolfpack. Big K.
Ayo, wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down, fuck up cause. Fuck up round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Pause like Tim Black, overwhelmed, but I gotta get my wits jacked. We be preaching to the quiet like a hymn track, but we gotta make a dent, get the rich back. Laying in the street, we got brothers that overdosing, trying to help the poor with their handicap and emotion. Both parties suck, take a minute and let it soak in. They don't give a fuck, they be lying. locking you up for smoking. Both parties suck. Johnson, what they're serving up is a lace concoction. Spit it in a face. Johnson, what the fuck you do with a snake when you boxing? Wanna fall in line with the face is an option. I'ma stand for mine, I'ma ride with my conscience. If you wanna ride, I'd advise you with caution. When they get the chance, sell you out like an auction. Fucked ins like control that position. Cunts on the boat and they roll that position. Top down, yeah, I'm sold on the mission. I ain't bring a coast, I'm searching for friction. Apologists faking these raps give me conniptions. They be out here serving their donuts like a religion. Calling out these blasphemous promises my addiction. They ain't got no soul, yeah, they sold it out for a patient. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck up, round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Ayo time, fuck conservative run on McDonald. Clean but you look and you sound like you off at the bottle. White boy dress for the follow. You see through the grip, so you need to let off to the throttle. Shut the right, we beside let us have us a top. Be a man, we can walk through the basics. You ain't getting shot, just talking about race. Motherfucker, you get shot for being racist. Yo, say you spitting facts, you clearly be in your feelings. Quoting Ben Shapiro, what else the fuck you conceal? See, we didn't free the slaves and you acting like we the same. Like we're signing effects, same thing, you fucking idiot. Right-wing frauds really made me belligerent. Educate America, overcoming the ignorance. Big homie black, show you bitches the difference. They outsource the jobs, blaming it on the immigrants. Bro for initiative, hold the line with the wolf pack. Giving me a shot, I blew through him like I'm a fullback. Riding from inside the center, the way your soul at. Can't distract blast, cause homie be full of bullcrap. A-C-I-B, yeah, I'm bending the law. Yeah, the system is broke, yeah, we need this and ours. Need divine intervention, need it fixed by the gods. Hold up, I'ma need to catch my breath. Pause. Wait, hold up, pause. No debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck up, round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause.